Ladies and gentlemen, there is a truth, an eternal principle that separates the extraordinary from the average, the fulfilled from the frustrated, the creators from the complainers. And that truth is this: you must act as if everything always works out for you. Now, I don't mean blind optimism or wishful thinking. I speak of a deep-rooted, unwavering belief, a definite major attitude that whatever happens, happens for you, not to you. It is an inner law of success that the outer world mirrors your inner expectations. You see, every person who has ever built a business empire, conquered self-doubt, overcome setbacks, and risen to greatness did so because they believed before they saw. They didn't wait for evidence. They acted with the calm confidence that success was already theirs. This mindset does not guarantee an easy path, but it guarantees a victorious one. When you act as if everything works out for you, obstacles become stepping stones, delays become direction, criticism becomes clarity. The world has no choice but to rearrange itself around a mind that refuses to accept defeat. You do not wait for the perfect moment. You decide the moment is perfect because you are ready. And when you act with that energy, the universe responds. People show up, ideas surface, opportunities emerge. What you expect consistently, you attract. What you believe internally, you create externally. Act as if everything works out for you, because when you do, you unleash a power within that bends circumstances to your will. So I challenge you, walk boldly, think victoriously, speak with faith, move with intent, and act not someday, not maybe, but as if your success is certain, because it is. Thank you. It's okay to feel fear, doubt, and uncertainty. You don't have to be perfect. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It's a demonstration of courage. But even as you feel these things, you must remember one truth. Belief precedes reality. Everything you desire, everything you strive for, must first exist in the unseen world of thought before it can show up in the visible world of results. This is not mere philosophy. It is a principle of achievement. No great accomplishment was ever born in doubt. Every towering building was once an idea. Every invention was once a dream. Every success story was once a quiet voice inside someone's mind saying, "It's possible." The world cannot give you what you don't first claim for yourself. If you cannot see it in your mind, you will never hold it in your hand. Belief is not about pretending that nothing can go wrong. It's not about ignoring challenges or denying the hard moments. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you will rise, adapt, and overcome. It's about moving forward even when the path isn't clear, even when there is no applause, even when the doubts whisper louder than your faith. You must still choose to believe. There will be times when the evidence seems to contradict your vision. You may feel like giving up, but that is exactly when belief matters most. It's easy to believe when things are going well. True belief is forged in the fire of delay, rejection, and trial. When you stand firm in belief, you give shape to the invisible. You tell the world, "I may not see it yet, but I know it's mine." The mind is the workshop of your destiny. What you feed it, what you allow to grow inside it, becomes the foundation of your actions, your habits, and ultimately your outcomes. You cannot outperform your own self-picture. You cannot live a life of greatness if you secretly believe you are unworthy of it. So the first work The real work is to believe fully and boldly before any proof exists. Believe not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because reality will always follow the path belief has carved. Doubt is the thief of destiny. It sneaks in quietly, questioning your worth, your plan, your timing. It whispers that you're not ready, not qualified, not enough. But certainty's a force. When you act with certainty, you shift the energy around you. You become magnetic. Decisions become clear, obstacles shrink, and progress accelerates. It is not arrogance. It is alignment. It is the calm inner knowing that what you seek is already seeking you. Certainty does not require perfect conditions. In fact, the most powerful certainty often arises in imperfect ones. It's not about having all the answers. It's about trusting that you will find them. It's not about seeing the full staircase. It's about taking the next step with conviction. You act not because you have no fear, but because your belief is greater than your fear. People respond to certainty. Doors open for those who walk as though they belong. Confidence breeds confidence. When you move with certainty, others start to believe in you too. The team gathers. The opportunities appear. The momentum builds. You no longer chase things, you attract them. Acting with certainty means making decisions as the person you are becoming, not the one you used to be. It means speaking the language of success, carrying yourself with the posture of purpose, and showing up each day with an unshakable belief in your direction. You will still make mistakes. You will still learn and fall and get back up. But your certainty makes those stumbles part of the process, not proof of failure. The world does not reward hesitation. It rewards those who declare their vision and then move, boldly, relentlessly, with intention. You become a leader the moment you stop second-guessing and start committing. The moment you stop asking for permission and start moving as if your dream is not only possible, but inevitable. So, act with certainty, not because the path is easy or guaranteed, but because your purpose demands it, because doubt delays destiny, but certainty invites it in. Your mindset is not just a reflection of your circumstances. It is the architect of them. Every outcome you experience, every challenge you face, every opportunity you recognize or overlook is filtered through the lens of how you think. The way you perceive the world becomes the way you live in it. You don't see things as they are. You see them as you are. And that internal state, that dominant frame of thought, molds the external results you call life. A mind focused on problems will always find more problems. A mind trained on possibility will uncover solutions where others see dead ends. The person who expects setbacks will often attract them. The one who expects progress, despite all odds, will find a way forward. Circumstances may be outside your control, but how you interpret and respond to them is entirely within your power. Mindset is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing how you engage with imperfection. It's the difference between saying, "I'm stuck," and saying, "I'm learning." It's the choice to see failure not as a signal to quit, but as feedback to grow. This shift in perception changes how you feel, and how you feel changes how you act, and how you act reshapes your entire environment. When you believe you're a victim of life, you wait. You wait for rescue, for opportunity, for someone to validate your worth. But when your mindset is one of ownership, of responsibility, you stop waiting and start creating. You take the reins, you move with purpose, and the world begins to move with you. This isn't fantasy, it's cause and effect. A disciplined, growth-driven mindset leads to courageous decisions. Courageous decisions lead to powerful action, and powerful action changes circumstances. The shift is subtle at first, an idea here, a decision there, but it compounds. With time, the mindset you choose becomes the world you live in. You do not need to control everything outside of you. You only need to master what's within. Because once you change the way you think, the world no longer decides who you are, you do. Obstacles are not the enemy, they are not interruptions to your path. They are the path. Every challenge you encounter, every setback you didn't see coming, every wall that suddenly appears in front of your vision is not there to stop you, but to shape. Life doesn't place obstacles in your way to defeat you. It places them there to reveal the strength, creativity, and resilience already within you. Most people retreat when things get hard. They see resistance and assume they've made a wrong turn. But those who achieve greatness know better. They understand that difficulty is not a signal to quit, but a signal to rise. Obstacles carry hidden value. They force you to think differently, to grow stronger, to become resourceful. They strip away the unnecessary and reveal what truly matters. You do not grow in comfort. You grow in challenge. You don't discover your power when everything is working. You discover it when nothing seems to be. The obstacle is the test and also the teacher. It teaches patience. It teaches grit. It teaches the difference between wanting something and committing to it. Opportunity often comes dressed in the disguise of hardship. It doesn't announce itself politely. It shows up as failure, as rejection, as delay. But if you stay with it, if you look closer, lean in rather than back away, you begin to see the pattern. That thing you thought was in your way was actually guiding you. When you embrace obstacles instead of resisting them, you take your power back. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That single shift changes everything. You move from victim to victor, from reactive to intentional, from frustration to focus. So the next time you face an obstacle, don't curse it, don't run from it. Stand still, look it in the eye, and know this. Within this very challenge lies the seed of your next breakthrough. Obstacles are not dead ends. They are doors in disguise, waiting for you to knock louder. Energy is not just a concept, it's a currency. The way you show up, the way you think, speak, move, and engage with the world sends out a signal. That signal becomes a magnet. It draws in people, opportunities, and outcomes that align with it. You are not just a participant in life, you are a transmitter. And what you put out comes back. High energy creates momentum. It fuels creativity, drives persistence, and inspires action. When you walk into a room with clarity, passion, and confidence, people feel it. They lean in. They want to be part of it. Why? Because energy is contagious. It speaks louder than words. It tells others what you believe about yourself, your vision, and your future before you ever open your mouth. But it works both ways. Negative energy repels. If you carry fear, frustration, bitterness, or constant doubt, it clouds your presence. It turns off your awareness to new possibilities. It blinds you to open doors and keeps you focused on the ones that closed. Energy doesn't lie, it amplifies your truth. If you believe things never work out for you, your energy will reflect that, and the world will respond in kind. This is why protecting and directing your energy is more important than talent, resources, or timing. It's the fuel behind every goal you set and every action you take. You don't have to be the smartest in the room. You don't have to have all the answers. But you do have to carry a presence that says, I'm here for something greater, and I won't stop until I build it. Energy creates expectation, and expectation creates action. When you expect things to go right, when you move like you're already chosen, already backed, already favored, things begin to shift, not magically, but magnetically. You draw in results because your energy tells the world you are ready to receive them. The results you're getting now are a reflection of the energy you've been projecting. Change the energy and the results will follow. When you commit to bringing the highest version of yourself to each moment, you begin to shape not only your outcomes, but your entire reality. You are not here to suffer under circumstance. You are here to shape it. You were not born to merely react to life, to wait for things to happen and hope they turn in your favor. You were born to create, to choose, to direct, to build. The moment you take full ownership of your life is the moment you reclaim your power, because until then, you're handing it over to everything and everyone else. Victimhood is seductive. It offers comfort. It says it's not your fault. It gives you permission to stay where you are, to explain away failure, to point to your past, your environment, or someone else's decision. But that comfort comes at a cost. It chains you to the very limits you're trying to escape. When you live as a victim, you hand over the pen and let someone else write your story. But the truth is, no one else is holding the pen. It has always been in your hands. You are the creator. You have the ability to shift your mindset, change your habits, alter your direction, and redefine what your life becomes. You can decide today that your past does not dictate your future. You can decide that you are done blaming, done waiting, done doubting, and from that decision forward, you begin to lead yourself. Creation starts with responsibility. It starts when you stop asking, why is this happening to me, and start asking, what can I do about it? When you own your role, your choices, your reactions, your beliefs, you step into the place where transformation happens. You stop hoping for change and start generating it. Being the creator doesn't mean everything will be easy. It doesn't mean life won't throw challenges at you. But it means you'll no longer face those challenges as someone powerless. You'll face them as someone who decides, someone who adapts, learns, and rises again. You were not designed to be at the mercy of life. You were made to mold it. You are not a character in the story. You are the author. And the moment you accept that truth, everything begins to change. Not because the world suddenly becomes easier, but because you finally step into the role you were always meant to play. Persistency is the quiet force behind every great achievement. It doesn't shout, it doesn't always look impressive in the moment, but it is relentless. It's the decision to keep showing up, to keep moving, to keep believing, long after the excitement has faded and the results are still unseen. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers, the starters from the finishers, the almosts from the achievers. Possibility is not unlocked by talent alone. It's not revealed through luck or timing. It reveals itself to those who refuse to stop. Persistence is what keeps you walking when the path disappears. It's what keeps your head up when the world tells you to lower your expectations. It's what keeps you working in silence, trusting that eventually the noise will come. Every breakthrough you admire was born in a moment when giving up would have been easier. Success often hides behind the wall of frustration, fatigue, and failure. Most never get there. not because they're not capable, but because they stop too soon. They mistake delay for denial. But possibility waits on the other side of that wall, and the only way through it is persistence. This is not about grinding endlessly without reflection. It's about maintaining belief and direction, even when results take their time. It's knowing that progress is often invisible at first, that growth happens beneath the surface before it shows in your reality. Persistence trains your character. It deepens your why. It teaches you how to build, not just hope. When you persist, you are telling life, I am serious. You are signaling to yourself and to the world that your vision is non-negotiable, that your desire is not a passing whim, but a deep and determined commitment. That's when momentum begins to build. That's when things start to shift. You don't need to be the fastest, the smartest, or the most gifted. You just need to outlast the noise, the fear, the failure, because possibility is not given, it's earned. And it's earned by those who keep going even when there's no proof yet. Those who persist eventually prevail. Confidence is not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's not arrogance, nor is it the absence of fear. Real confidence is quiet strength. It's the unshakable inner knowing that you are enough, that you have what it takes, and that your presence matters. When you carry that kind of energy, the world takes notice. People listen differently. They lean in, because confidence commands respect, not by force, but by example. Respect is not demanded, it is earned. And one of the quickest ways to earn it is to carry yourself like someone who knows their value. Not someone who pretends to have all the answers, but someone who walks with clarity, with decisiveness, with the dignity of self-trust. Confidence doesn't say, I'm better than you. It says, I'm at peace with who I am. When you believe in yourself, you change the dynamic in every room you enter. You don't beg for approval, you bring certainty. You don't need validation, you give vision. You speak with intent, move with purpose, and people sense that you know where you're going, even if they don't understand your path yet. That sense of direction, that inner alignment is powerful. It opens doors. It draws allies. It turns doubt into curiosity and resistance into cooperation. Confidence also creates stability in chaos. When others waver, a confident person becomes the anchor, not because they are never shaken, but because they don't collapse under pressure. They stay rooted. That kind of composure earns trust. People want to follow those who lead themselves well. But this confidence doesn't come from external achievements. It comes from internal work, from showing up for yourself day after day, from keeping promises to yourself, from facing your fears and doing the hard things anyway. The more you do that, the stronger your belief becomes, and that belief radiates outward. You don't have to announce your worth. Just carry it. Walk like you belong, speak like you mean it, and decide that you are done shrinking for the comfort of others. Because when you own your presence fully, the world will adjust. Not because you asked for respect, but because you showed them how to give it. Faith is not something you wait to feel. It's something you choose to stand in, even when the feelings aren't there. It's not passive hope. It's not blind optimism. Faith is an active decision to trust the vision, to keep moving forward when the evidence hasn't yet arrived, to believe in the unseen because the seen hasn't caught up yet. It's the choice to walk in expectation before you have the outcome, to speak with certainty before the world understands why. Most people think faith is an emotional high, a surge of inspiration that carries them through, but real faith is forged in silence. In the moments of doubt, delay, and darkness, when there's no guarantee of success, no applause, no clear signs, it's in those moments that faith becomes real. Not because it feels good, but because it's all you have, and you choose it anyway. Faith isn't a response to conditions, it's a commitment to creation. It says, even if I don't see it today, I still believe it's on the way. It doesn't wait for the perfect timing or the perfect mood. It acts as if the outcome is already written. Because in a very real way, it is. Your life always moves in the direction of your dominant belief. Faith fuels that belief. It builds it, it reinforces it every time you choose to believe instead of retreat. This decision to stand in faith is what keeps you grounded when the winds of fear try to pull you off course. It gives you a compass when the map is unclear. It allows you to show up with consistency, to speak life into your goals, and to carry yourself like someone who knows how the story ends, even when no one else sees it. Faith is not about the absence of fear. It's about choosing belief in spite of it. You might not always feel strong. You might not always feel ready, but you can always decide to stand in faith. That decision, repeated again and again, is what transforms possibilities into realities. It's not about how loud your faith is, it's about how committed you are to it. And commitment, not emotion, is what moves mountains. Greatness doesn't begin with applause, recognition, or success. It begins with a thought, a single thought, a whisper in your mind that says, there's more in me than I've shown the world. That thought is the spark. It's quiet at first, almost easy to ignore, but it carries the weight of your potential. And if you choose to honor it, if you protect it, feed it, act on it, that small thought becomes the seed of something extraordinary. Everything that has ever been built, achieved, or transformed began in someone's mind. Before the first step, before the first move, there was belief. The moment you allow yourself to imagine something greater, something better, something beyond what others expect of you, that's the moment your life begins to change. Not because the circumstances shift, but because you do. Thought is the foundation. It shapes the way you see the world, the way you show up, and the way you respond. When your thoughts expand, your world expands. When you allow greatness to exist in your mind, you begin to see evidence of it in your life, not overnight, but inevitably. Because the mind is the first battlefield and the greatest lever of transformation. Most people never start because they talk themselves out of it at the thought level. They dismiss their vision before it has time to grow. They let fear, logic, and doubt override their inner knowing. But those who go on to do great things make a different choice. They honor the thought. They trust it. They give it space to breathe and strength to evolve. They act on it, not because they're certain, but because they're committed. You don't have to know how everything will unfold. You just need to protect the thought. Feed it with belief. Support it with action. Return to it when the world gets noisy, because that one thought, that vision that lives inside you, is not random. It's the blueprint of what's possible. And once you believe it's yours, you begin to create it, not by chance, but by decision. Greatness doesn't arrive, it's built. Starting with a thought bold enough to be heard. So let this be your moment. The moment you stop waiting and start owning. The moment you silence the noise of doubt and listen to the quiet power within you. Choose to act as if everything always works out for you, not because life is without challenge, but because you are no longer without belief. Move with certainty. Think with intention, speak with confidence, and above all, persist with unshakable faith. You are not here to survive. You are here to create, to lead, to transform. And it all begins the moment you decide to live not as a victim of circumstance, but as the architect of destiny. Your mindset is the key, your energy is the magnet, and your belief is the engine. Carry yourself like someone who knows the outcome is already written in your favor, and watch the world rise to meet you. Everything changes when you do.